Hi, Lucas. When we look at a project like this, specifically a two-part project, the front and the back, we really, really want to determine what the concept is, especially in a concept-heavy project like this, where it's not just it's not just a design project. I mean, we're definitely trying to work some concepts into the main concept. And I think that to a very high degree, at this stage, it's really important for you to understand that when you submit work for approval, you should really, really spend some time describing your intent. That's going to be asked of you in a studio setting for every project. So when you submit your sketches or you submit your drafts, your creative director, your art director is going to say, Lucas, we need you to describe what your intent is here. So you want to describe, why are you using this typeface? Why are these kind of ghosted out and layered on top of each other? Why use this color? Why stair step space these like this? Why is this on an angle? These all have to have conceptual ties, and that concept should really be your main focal point, your main idea that you're trying to present through your work. Okay, let me give you an example, and this might be one. This is such a good resource right here. And I'm in the announcements area right over here. And Welcome to Week 6 is extremely important. And this final project explained with examples deconstructed. Let me show you a concept heavy. This is very, very concept heavy. So the reason everything here has intent and reason. Okay. So this little illustration is visual substitution. Okay. So that's setting up the concept, right? And it's set up typographically, not illustratively, because we're replacing the O with the fist with the chains, right? So that's immediately giving the viewer an idea. Even if the viewer has no idea who Toni Morrison is, we can look at this and we can pick things out. We know, okay, Toni Morrison is obviously an American author that deals in realism. Okay, it seems that Toni Morrison has somehow being oppressed in some way or another based on this fist. It looks like this is an expression of power and suppression. Okay, so this front cover is setting the stage for the back of the poster, where this chain is really expounded on with the timeline. So the message is set up here, right? It's very explicit, very clear. There's enough here for the viewer to say, okay, I get the basic foundation of what's happening. Do we get that here? And that's a rhetorical question. Do we get that here? What is this telling the viewer? Okay, and I am really struggling, and I don't see much about there's no connection here between the subject matter and the coverage. You see what I'm saying? So I really, really want you to work this out. Sleep on it, Lucas. Pour yourself a big cup of coffee, grab your sketchbook, and start hammering out some ideas. You'll get it. I guarantee you'll get it. Just know the subject matter. Know it inside and out. And then when you're thinking and sketching, other ideas are going to pop in and pop out, and you're going to go, oh, yeah, I want to represent so-and-so by doing this. And I promise you, by the time that cup of coffee is done, you're going to have some great ideas. It's just a matter of sitting down and hammering it out. Let's talk about typography. I don't think the typography is effective at all. I really don't, Lucas, and I'm not trying to be discouraging at all. I'm just being as honest as I can. The typography has a lot of areas that just aren't working. That these names are very, very difficult to read anyway. So having the kerning spread out, these to me don't look like they're kerned. I mean, the letter spacing is so wide that we end up, there are so many saccadic movements here, we're actually sounding out each letter. Instead of looking at this, and if it's kerned correctly, we're going to see Isamu. But the way we're seeing it, we're seeing Isamu, Akasa. Instead of looking at that's kerned correctly, we'd say Isamu, Akasaki, Hiroshi, Amano. I mean, these are not that difficult names, but while the letters are spread out so wide, it makes it really difficult. So I would address kerning here. This ghosted effect where they're kind of layered, it's just not working. It's making these letters really, really, really difficult to read. I don't see any conceptual reasoning. If there is, let me know. And again, when you submit your work, always give a good written description as to your intent. There's quite feasible that the intent is in here and I'm just not seeing it. And so without a description of the intent, I can't address in that regard. Does that make sense? So anyway, Spencer, so let's go ahead. Just keep working, man. It'll come to you, I promise. I'm here. I'm a click away. Let me know if you have any questions at all. Between now and Sunday. Typically, I'm out of the studio on Saturdays, so keep that in mind. But yeah, I would love to see you rework this and really work some concept into this, Lucas. I know you got it in you. I've seen your work. You definitely have it in you. So let's hunker down and hammer this out. Any questions at all, please let me know. Thank you, sir.